Hi guys. It's been around 4 months since I started revising Japanese, and I thought it's about time to shoot a video where I'm going to talk about how I evaluate the place I have managed to get to in this time period. And maybe I'm not going to speak so much about different study materials I've been using um, until now, because if I look back at the videos I've shot so far, then in them I mainly speak about the textbooks I've used. Without further ado, let's get started. And Oh my god, this yeah, sorry. Um, so um, there's always a ratio has to be in mind, input and output, how much I have managed to use different materials to study the language, and how I'm utilizing the knowledge that I've achieved so far. Sorry. So I understand that I've used a wide range of different textbooks. I also have mentioned in my previous videos that I am listening to two different podcasts. One is Yu podcast, and the other one is Seika podcasts. They are quite nice, and I can already understand that they work both ways. First is like an input for hearing comprehension. On the other hand, they also are an output, because it gives me a chance to to test how well I understand different topics that are being discussed in these podcasts. However, I think the ratio is more towards input, because I am not living in Japan, and it is hard to see Japanese, I don't know, texts and hear Japanese on daily basis. And I've been thinking about my daily schedule, and I have not been really watching Japanese movies or read real Japanese or different texts that would give me a more chance to get to know to see the grammar and vocabulary that I've covered. But on the other side, I've been doing Japanese on daily basis, so there's a question of time management, and how much I'm willing to put time into the study of Japanese. So I do have this Read Real Japanese book that I've started times and times in the past, but I have never finished it to the end. So this is really the one that I really want to start with. And also the Japanese movies, I've actually have even written down certain movies I want to see, but because of my time schedule, I usually end up, doing this Nihongo Somatome Goi, or some other books that are, are good for my Japanese. And that's one of the reasons I cannot fit all of the things that I want to do in my daily schedule. So I need to really kind of maybe look over my time scheduling, and this is again something that to think about, maybe to make an Excel to see where my time goes, and can I really fit maybe I don't know, 15-25 minutes of Japanese series or whatever in my time schedule. And what I feel, how do I evaluate my language level? So on the 1st of December, there's JLPT, like the annual, the 2 times a year it happens. Nihongo no Ryokushiken exam, and I decided that I want to do it unofficially. So next weekend I'm gonna print it out, and we'll start writing the exam for N3 and see where I'm standing at. But on the same note, as I maybe have told you in the past videos, I'm not rushing to N2, because I do understand that vocabulary is one thing that I need really to work with, because it's not hard to understand podcasts. I'm doing great in that terms, but if it becomes more technical, or if it's text from the books, I can see that there's a lot to cover. Another thing is that although I understand grammar, for me to use actively maybe N3 grammar certain patterns, it's still quite difficult. So I hope that drilling, doing again Gohyakumon, will give me a better chance of enforcing the knowledge that I've covered and then moving forward. So I'm staying on entry revision for the next few months for sure. I've discovered few good books that can help me. Just as I promised, I will not stop much on the books, but like this book has its own good parts and certain weak points. For instance, it doesn't have the Suomattomi does not have all the example sentences. They sometimes have just separate words. In that terms, Shinkansen Mazda is so much better, but both of them lack of explanation of very similar words. So for us, it might seem like it's a synonym. For instance, there was a three different words for noisy, but it doesn't give you any example sentences, and it also doesn't explain what's the difference. And in the end of the book, the last chapters, it like for instance introduces you different words which have very similar meaning. So they put them into example sentences, but they do not explain the difference. And if I am expected to go on internet to ask AI or to Google the answers for all those very similar words that in my opinion might be interchangeable sometimes they really depend on context, then what's the point of this GOI books that Suomattomi and Shinkansen Mazda have? So I discovered there's a best vocabulary builder which says that they will introduce all the words in context and in small minuscule kind of chats or texts or conversation where you could really use those. So we'll try this out, and there's two different books that concentrate on Te kureru, Te morau, Te ageru, and Shieki and Ukemi. So there's the passive voice and the causative, which I feel sometimes are a bit of a weakness of mine. So I will purchase those books and work them through before I am going to move to N2. So these are my future plans. So in conclusion of my small rant, which where I tried to sum up my achievements, I really feel that especially the Suomattomi textbook is helping me to also revise kanjis, because I can write them through and can really see if I've forgotten or maybe learn a new kanji that I didn't know before. So the book is taking longer than I anticipated, and as I already mentioned, there are certain chapters that I might skip, because if the explanations are not given, I'm not willing to spend hours and hours researching sample sentences and explanations why these words differ. So I'm gonna just maybe skim them through and that's it. And we'll take the test next week. Maybe I will record it, I don't know, and see where I would stand with entry. I'm quite fairly confident that I will pass it with quite good grades, but we'll see. Maybe I'm overconfident, but it doesn't seem difficult for me at the moment. And the Koihakumon that I have for the grammar, I'm also gonna go through it for the second time, and we'll see how what I have forgotten, and maybe something has stick with me. So I hope this video is less than 10 minutes, because all the other videos are always planning to make them shorter, but they turn up very, very long. I hope you maybe got some ideas, points that might be useful for you. If not, I hope you found this video interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna give you more updates of my Japanese review. So, じゃあね, bye bye.